Uh, Asmit, can I start?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
uh,
sure.
there are more than 60 peoples, around 70. So I think we should start.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, thank you. So hello everyone. Good evening to everyone. Uh, Myself, Pooja Kumari. I am from management team at GDSC MITAOE. And today we are going to talk about Google Summer of Code. So, are you all excited about today's session? If you are, please comment on the chat. So today our speaker is Malankawar. He is a cloud and a open source enthusiast, and he's open source developer at Anaconda, and he's also the GDSC lead at Bharatiya Vidyapeeth, and he's a content writer at Free Code Camp, and he's also a contributor at at Girl Script. He has done many open source projects, and most importantly, he's a student developer at GNOME Foundation under Google Summer Code of 2022, and now he has been invited to GNOME Asia Conference at Malaysia. So, are you all excited about our today's speaker? So I will
Yeah, it's
come to
coming.
Asmit. So you can continue, Asmit.
Yeah, sure. Thank you for the introduction, Kumari, Pooja. Okay, I'll start with the session that we all here for. So, how can you get into Google Summer of Code and what it is all about? So, this would be our today's agenda. That is, what is open source? What is GSoC all about? How does it work? Then the 2023 timeline and changes that they have done. How to make a good proposal, and we'll also keep some time for Q&A session. Okay, so this is my basic introduction. Well, you all heard about me, but currently I'm open source developer at Anaconda Foundation, and these are my social handles where you can connect with me and ask me questions. If you have any doubts, I'll reply. And yeah, let's connect. So, okay. So I'll start with basics, like what was my experience with Google Summer of Code. So if you're interested in reading that, I would suggest you to head over to the dev2/smit2952, where I have written two blogs about it. The first blog is about how I got into Genome Foundation, and the second blog is about the first international conference that I attended through Genome Foundation. That is through Google Summer of Code. Okay, so we'll start with what is open source. So basically, open source software is any software that is available for public to contribute and to distribute that software however they want, wherever they want. And open source basically promotes collaboration. You get to connect with community members and other developers around the world. You get to hear their perspective and their way of working, and basically it helps you upskill uh, your current skills and be part of various organizations and stuff. So what is Google Summer of Code now? You might be wondering. So I would say that Google Summer of Code is a international program designed for students and professionals who want to get started with open source. This program is especially for beginners, not that you need to have extra skills, or you need to be a professional developer. Even students from first year or can participate in it. The only you know rule to participate in Google Summer of Code is you have to be at least 18 years of age. That's it. So yeah, this program is organized by Google every summer, and it runs around from January to September, including the entire proposal to project submission timeline. So this is some more info about Google Summer of Code. So as you can see, it's a global program. that is focused on bringing more open source contributors in the software development, because open source is a kind of new domain and not many people have idea about it. So what Google and other organizations are doing here is they are promoting open source software development, because in we use open source software in our everyday life, but we don't know how they work, or how contributors contribute to that project. So GSoC basically aims for that, where they can teach students how to work with the projects that are used in our daily life. Then, as I said, it is open for beginners and students, and you should be 18 years old. And last year they introduced like kind of projects, that is medium sized and large sized, 175 or 350 hours, and the stipend was divided according to it. That is, for 175 hours you would get around 1500, and for 350 hours you would get around $3000. So my project was the large project, which I'll discuss later with you. Then you might be wondering, what's the length of the program. So basically it runs for 3 months. The standard like coding period is for 12 weeks, that is 3 months, but contributors can extend their project up to 22 weeks, so that they can work on it more, or they can do something out of the scope for their project. Then fifth point would be contributors work with an open source organization under the guidance of mentors. So here mentors help you to study the project and to understand how it works, how to add features, how to solve bugs, how to solve issues, etc. And then sixth point would be you get to build connections and networks. In my experience, when I participated in Google Summer of Code, I got to connect with professional developers in Google, of course, then Red Hat. Then I would also say I got to connect with the organizers at Genome Foundation. Then yeah, you just expand your network through this program. So how does Google Summer of Code work? So this is like a basic skeleton you are seeing in front of you. You can take a screenshot if you want. So in January, the first phase of Google Summer of Code is where organizations apply to Google so that they can be mentors there. Then Google chooses the organizations that participate in Google Summer of Code. That happens around in February, and around in March, the accepted organizations are announced, and contributors then start to look at their projects and submit proposals. Then mentor organizations, which are there in Google Summer of Code, they choose contributors who have like skills they need to work on the project. And then the contributors are paired with the mentor, that is, you work under a senior software developer throughout the coding period, and then after the coding period, that is 12 weeks, you have to submit your final project, and various evaluations happen. So this is the general timeline for 2023. So it will start on Jan 23, not for you, but for organizations, where organizations have to apply to be part of Google Summer of Code. And then on February 2022, so this is your main date, February 2022, where February 22, sorry, where you have to go to the Google Summer of Code's website, and you have to look for the organizations that are announced, and you have to go through the projects that they are going to accept this year. Then from March 20 to April 4, you get time to submit your proposals. So between February 22 and March 20, that is 1 month, you can work with your potential mentors to draft a proposal, and uh, draft a proposal and get it verified and get it checked. So on May 4, accepted GSoC contributors are announced, and May 4 to 28 would be community bonding period. So community bonding period is a span of time where you get to study the internal working of organization, how they communicate, who are the people behind the organization, how it works. Then they also discuss what time you can commit to the project, all that extra stuff. You don't have to code in this period. This is just like yeah, community bonding period as said. So this year on May 29, the coding will start, and the basic coding period will be till August 28. But if you want to extend your project till 22 weeks, it would be till November 6. So if you want, you can visit the link which is given here, that is g.co.gsoc, where it's the Google Summer of Codes website, where they have this timeline in much more detail. So in this slide, I would like to help you select the organization, or like how to find the organization you want to contribute to. So I would like help you with this. We'll visit this link first. My screen is visible, right? It doesn't change with the tabs, right? Can anyone confirm?
Yes, yes, it's visible.
Okay, cool. So as you can see on this website, that is GSoCorganizations.dev. So basically here all organizations are listed. What you have to do is select at least like minimum 3 years. That is, I would select here 2020, 2021, and 2022. So selecting consecutive 3 years would give you an idea that the organization will also participate this year and the next year afterwards. So your chance of selecting an organization would be like more definite, and it would be more informed decision. Okay, so next there are various categories on the left side, that is in which domain you want to contribute, or what is your basic skill set. So my project was in web development, so I would select web here. Then these organizations come up. So for example, I'll take up Wikimedia Foundation. So, okay, so this is an organization page on this website. You can see a graph here which tells you the number of projects completed year-wise, or the number of applications, applicants they took in, and how many projects were completed. So you can see in 2022 around 7 people completed their projects, and etc. So here are the project details. You can read through them. You can check previous year projects and etc. So this is how you can navigate in this website. Also, there are other filters, like if you don't know the domain, you can also choose the language you're comfortable with. So let's say you're comfortable with Node.js and React and JavaScript. So it throws out these organizations where they use this tech stack, and you can just browse through it. As you can see, this is the Genome Foundation, the where I contributed in this organization in 2022. So as you can see, it uses these tech stack, and these are the topics it's involved in. That is desktop development, desktop applications, operating system, and user application, etc. So then if you go here, this is my project. This will land you on the official Google Summer of Code website, where you can see the project title, contributor name, the project description, and this is like the project report I created, which you can read afterwards. So this would be like the basic navigation of this website. There are also topics. If you don't want to select languages, you can also select topics here, like web topics, or machine learning, or web development, etc. So this will again show you the organizations that have projects in these categories. So yeah, this is how it's easy to navigate it on this website, and you can just get to know about past projects and proposals as well. So continuing with this, this is the official Google Summer of Code organization page. So yeah, This is the official website where they just have simple filters compared to this, which have like all the filters here. So yeah, I would suggest to use this website. But yeah, you can also use this. You can again select the categories here, and there are organizations here. Then you can just open any organization, and then you can see the successful projects and the idea list. So basically, we'll get the idea on what you want to work on. So, so this is like the finding organization parts. Hope everyone got it. We'll clear the doubts in Q&A session as well. So making a good proposal. So for every contributor to get selected in Google Summer of Code, they have to make a proposal in with the help of their mentor and organization so that they can get into the program. So this would be the basic structure of your proposal. That is title, about me, project description, what are the benefits of your proposal, deliverables, previous contribution that you have done in the organization, what's your motivation to participate in the GSoC, and what you will do after GSoC. So we'll go one by one. So okay. So yeah, title. Okay, so title is of course, the most important thing in your proposal. Basically, it's the name of the project you're working on. Then it should be a simple one-liner title, not the like 50 words or something like that. Keep it maximum to 10 to 15 words. Then about me section where you will include your social links, which year are you in, what college do you study, basic bio that you publish anywhere. Then project description. So project description, I would say, is the summary of your project and what it currently has. So basically, it is like a two-paragraph thing in your proposal where you can talk about what experience do you have with this project, have you used it before, have you contributed to it, and what is the current state of project, is it complete or is it incomplete, and etc. So the next section would be benefits of your proposal. So this section is more like you're selling your proposal to the organization. You make your proposal stand out or of the all other proposals that are out there. So in benefits of your proposal, you should be able to explain why your approach is better than the others, why your method is more efficient, or why is it more beneficial to the organization or the community you're contributing to. Then in benefits, you can also include mock diagrams, UIs, to give clearer idea to the organization and the mentor, so they can have a visual idea of what you are working on and what's your understanding about it. And yeah, like this benefit section will also give clear idea of your thought process about the project as well. So deliverables, this is the logic of your proposal, I would say. So this is the logic piece of the project. You need to spend like the most of the time in this section where you have to describe how you will work on the project, when you will work on the project, and what you can deliver. You should always refer to the GSoC timeline, which I showed back. So you have to sort the deliverables week by week and then combine it into a milestone. Like suppose from June to July, you are developing this section. From July to August, you will be deploying it. From August to September, you'll be completing your project like that. You need to divide it week by week. And then you should also include documentations and research to support your ideas. Now, suppose if you want to integrate some API, so you need to include documentation related to it, or how you will achieve that goal. Because in deliverables, you just can't over promise anything, because they will always check what's your skill level and how much you know by checking all your GitHub account, and what all you're involved in the past. So contributions. Contributions are always optional in the organization, but if you have contributed before in the organization, it's always a plus, because it tells you that it tells the organization that you are dedicated and you want to continue working on the project. And yeah, so during contributions, you should always communicate with the mentor. You should always align your ideas with the organization. It shouldn't be like you are creating a solution for problem that doesn't exist. So it shouldn't be like that. And obviously, if you make more contributions, the organization will show you more. Organization will show more confidence in you, like selecting you for the GSoC program. And the contributions can be code, non-code, or helping community members in their Discord or Slack and etc. It obviously isn't limited to code contributions. So mentioning your previous contributions is will always give an edge. So in my case, before joining the organization, I contributed like around 10 to 15 PRs. I helped people set up project. I communicated with mentor. So this gave an organization ideas that I can work on this project, and I understand the project from the core. So experiences, right? This is like the previous experience section, and it's fine if you don't know the entire tech stack of the project. You just need to know 50% of the project, and the rest 50% of the skills you can learn while coding. So in my scale, in my project, I just knew basic HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and other frameworks. But my project was in Jekyll, so I had to learn Jekyll from scratch, and it took me around like 10 to 15 days to like learn it, how the project is structured, how the naming scheme works, where the files are, etc. So you need to give time to yourself, learn the tech stack while you are contributing. That will obviously help you, debug anything that is if there's problem in the project. And then yeah, mentioning past experiences will also give you an edge. Suppose you haven't contributed to open source, but you have interned at like companies. So you can also mention that you were an intern here and what work you did and etc. And always keep your experiences relevant to the project. So suppose if you're applying to a cloud based project, you can't say that you have worked on the web development side. You need to mention projects like you work with Kubernetes, you work with Docker, you deployed these containers and etc etc. So it should be relevant experiences. So the next section is like some organizations want it, some don't, but it's always nice to have. Like, what's the motivation to submit the proposal, or why do you want to contribute to this organization? So always try to like answer it like you are not doing it for the stipend or anything. You want to do it for the open source community and to develop your skill. Then also mention past experiences with open source, even if you have just used them. Like suppose you have used like many languages, right? Python. You have used Python, it's open source, but you haven't contributed to it. You can even like mention that you have coded in these languages, you know how it works, etc. So you can mention that in your proposal. Then you should also mention what gets you excited about the project. That is, you have used it, you understand the code base, you know what features to add, or you know what features are lacking that should be there in the project. You can create a proposal around that. And you should also mention why you are the right person to work on the project, because there are like 10 people working on the same proposal. So you need to make yourself stand out. So that way you can mention this in the motivation section. So the last section would be after the SOC. So this section is more like what you will do after the 3-month coding period is completed. So will you continue contributing to the organization, and what's the future scope of your project? Is there anything left? Is there anything that can be changed? Then you shouldn't like disappear after GSoC is over. And can you like guide newcomers into organization? Can you be mentor next year, or just be a part of organization even after GSoC? So in my case, Genome Foundation, after my project was completed, I now I'm in in their engagement team, helping organize events, and then organize events, maintaining websites, guiding newcomers, and etc. So I'm contributing in that way. And I'm also working on a side project for them, which is a CSS library. So yeah, this is how you should mention what you will do after GSoC. So these are basic do's and don'ts that you need to remember while creating a proposal. So get feedback on your proposal as early as possible. You can get feedback on your proposal from the previous contributor or the mentor themselves, and they will be always happy to help you. But you shouldn't expect like quick replies, because all the mentors are working professionals. They have their own jobs, and they do open source as because they love it, not because of any stipend or anything. Just so you need to respect their time, and basically don't like ping them every now and then. So then make sure you communicate your idea clearly with your mentor. That is, you and mentor agree on the same thing. It shouldn't be like you are talking about doing something else, and the mentor is saying something else. It shouldn't be like that. So then, as I said, don't expect quick replies, and of course don't call them or for their basic doubts. Then always do your homework before asking questions, because many people that I have seen in open source is like they ask very basic questions which is already documented. So you should always read documentation before you ask your doubts, uh, because like you can't join a group and then ask how to set up a project, because it's already documented there. So you need to read it first, understand it by yourself, and then if you get stuck, you need to ask questions. Then make your timeline believable, and don't over promise and under deliver. That is, if you have 3 month coding time, you should always make it believable, like okay, in this month I have exams, in this month I can do this. So it's believable for the mentor and organization that you can work for this time. So yeah, you should keep that in mind as well. This is last point I would suggest. This isn't a part of proposal, but additional point, that is building your own profile. So building your own profile means, what do you do apart from college, or what do you do apart from general DSA questions? So I would suggest to like build connects in the community, showcase your projects on GitHub, Twitter, LinkedIn, etc. Then pitch your ideas and take responsibilities in the organization. Then also build GitHub profile, that is add more projects, contribute to other open source organizations, etc. And then don't fake it until you make it. I have included this point because I have seen like 2 to 3 contributors in GSoC 2022 where their proposal got selected, and when the coding period started, they weren't able to code. So there are some cases like that. So basically they fail you in that GSoC session, and then you can't participate in next year immediately. So make sure you always have a clear idea of what you're doing, and always be true. So you can take screenshot of this slide. These are basically useful links that I gathered, and this helped me draft my proposal or read through the program. And there's this important link that I would like to show you, that are the proposals. Okay, so as you can see, this is a GitHub repository here, where they have previous year proposals. So if I open 2022, and this is like the media Oh wait, no, okay, not 2022. Okay. Mozilla. So everyone is aware of Mozilla, I guess. It's an open source organization, and this is a proposal of a mentee. So as you can see, it's like the personal details here, then profiles, his GitHub profile, Bugzilla profile, his contact number, then the project details, that is the brief description of the project. Then these are the deliverables that he has mentioned, what he's going to do. Then these are the possible changes. Then like this is basically the deliverables that he has mentioned in this entire proposal. And then this is the timeline which I mentioned earlier, that you need to separate it week by week. So as you can see, before week 1, then May 1st to May 4th, etc. So you can go to this GitHub repository and browse through various proposals, so you get like a basic idea on how to make a proposal. And if you have any questions, you can obviously approach me as well. I can help with the basic review as well. So next would be, yeah, Q&A slide. So I'll just look at the questions there because I saw a few questions coming up. Okay, so okay, please ping. I'll share the slide link with Vatsal later, so you can just refer to the slides and the links given there. So, do we need to have basic knowledge about development in which we are interested? Yeah, you need to have basic knowledge. Now, for in my case, my project was web development, as I said. So I had the basic knowledge of how HTML, CSS, or JavaScript works, how the file is structured, how the logic works. So having basic knowledge always helps, and it always gives you an edge over other contributors as well. Mm, do's and don'ts. Okay. Yeah, Karthik, you can ask. What should be the best time for me to ask myself to join GSoC? This isn't like a interview program. I would say you can always contribute to open source organizations whenever you have time. So I would suggest if you start contributing from right now, then you will obviously have extra time and edge over other contributors who just joined before the organizations were announced. So if you start contributing to the organization you like, and then submit a proposal, you will obviously get selected.
Myself, Karthik Salve, and I have three questions right now.
Okay.
Can I ask them one by one?
Yeah, yeah, sure.
Any languages that will increase the chances of getting into GSoC?
Into the
GSoC. GSoC.
no. So okay. You need to select a domain you are working on. So suppose if you're working in operating system domain, you need to understand shell scripting, C language, C++, Bash, all those complex languages that were there in your 9th, 10th standard and you didn't like. So you need to understand those if you want to contribute to operating systems. Or if you want to contribute to web development, you need to, of course, know JavaScript, various frameworks like React, Vue, and then Jekyll, Svelte, etc. It all depends on what project you want to work on. There are various projects ranging from Android projects to OS to web dev. Everything is covered in Google Summer of Code, basically.
Okay, thank you for covering that up. Uh, do we have to suppose I chose Flutter? Like Flutter is an organization too, right?
Yeah.
So it has JavaScript, HTML, and CSS. Basically the front end part.
Mhm.
So now that I choose Flutter to contribute, do I have to tackle the previous year like contributions to make contributions on those projects and then write a proposal for them?
Like you contributed to Flutter before.
Like if I want to contribute to Flutter right now, so should I tackle a previous year project to be better
Yeah, of course. If you go through the ideas list which I showed, not all projects get selected because every organization have a limited seat. Suppose they have like 20 contributors applying to them, Google just gives them 9 seats. So 11 remaining projects are never worked upon or just are abandoned. So you can obviously go through their previous projects and you can ask mentors if you can work on it, and they'll be always happy to guide you to that project and how it works. And it always, shows the enthusiasm to the organization that you're willing to work on it. So that helps.
Oh, thank you once again. Here's another one. What are the non-code contributions?
Non-code contributions would be like documentation fixes. Suppose if you found any documentation error or code sample error in a documentation, you can fix that. Then you can write blog post about the organization or what projects they are working on. You can also join in their community and try to help others. Those are like non-code contributions. And open source majorly runs on both code and non-code. It's not always like you should know coding to enter into open source. So yeah, Google Summer of Code, of course, is especially for code contributions, but there is also a program called Google Season of Docs, which I was a part in 2022 as well, and that was solely focused on the documentation part, and not much coding was involved in that. So yeah.
So if we crack GSoC once, we can partake it in again, right?
Just the 2 times.
Two
Uh,
times.
yeah,
Yeah, thank you so much.
yeah. Okay, so Rudra, right? What should be the best time for me? I think I answered that there is no best time. You can start any time contributing to the organization you like, and yeah, you will get selected if they like your proposal. I'm in first year, just learning my C language. Of course, you can try it, but the projects in C language are so complex that it would be hard for you to cope up with the contributors that are already contributing to it. C language applications are like building Linux from scratch. Like Linux is solely based on C. So you will get projects like that. It's like very complex. The code base is extremely large, so try not to do it in C language, I would say. Try to do it like in the more competitive section like web dev or cloud or Android applications and etc. And if you're in first year, obviously you can try contributing to the organization, and you can stick to that particular organization, and then next year if you apply, you will surely get selected. Because I know one person who wasn't selected in GSoC 2021, but he kept contributing to that organization. And as soon as GSoC 2022 was out, he was like selected before even the proposals were out. So yeah. Do you really need to be expert in your domain? You don't need to be expert. I wasn't an expert. I just knew basic like HTML, CSS, JavaScript. As I said, I learned Jekyll when I discovered the project, what it was about. So obviously I had to learn it. And that's how I, developed one more skill, and like I can add it to my resume as well. So I would say that you don't need to be an expert, but having a little knowledge about the domain you're working in is enough. Is it necessary to have experience in cloud if we need to? Uh, Theoretical knowledge won't work as such. You need to get hands-on experience, how like for example how Google Quick Labs work. It gives you hands-on experience on the console, but that isn't the best way. But if you like suppose are contributing to any CNCF project, suppose layer 5, you need to set up their software in your computer, understand how it works, and then that's like the basic step for any organization, that their project should work on your system, and how you navigate through it and etc. So I would say like for summer of code, theoretical knowledge wouldn't work that much, but if you like contribute to coding part, you will get in more easily. tell us more about open source contribution which is needed. I didn't get that question. Like, open source contribution is just like you go on GitHub, you find issues on the language which or project which you like, and you just go through the good first issues and you just contribute. I can give you a small I would say demo of that as well. I'll share my screen just a second. So is my screen visible? I think it is. Okay. So if you go on GitHub, and then if you go on issues here, and then I would say is open is issue, and then label. Mm, So yeah, this is like the general GitHub search, I would say. So you can see like good first issues are marked here. You can just like visit the organization you're working on and search for these tags, and you can comment under that issue and yeah, work on it. So as you can see, this is like review API documentation help needed, and this is for good first issue. So yeah, no one has commented under it. You can comment it right now if you want to work on it. So yeah, this is how you find issues on GitHub for the project you like. Yeah. Mm. What if I have my exams? Okay, so you need to mention your exam about your exams in the timeline which I showed you, that is 3 months. You can obviously talk to mentors and take a week off, because GSoC also has this option of extending your project. So suppose if your project doesn't get completed in 12 weeks, you can extend it up to 14, 16, and maximum extension is 22 weeks. So yeah, you have to always inform about exams to the mentor. You can't just go offline, give exams, and come back in the organization. You need to always communicate it. And I had my exams as well, but I also completed 2 programs at a time. That is Google Summer of Code and Google Season of Docs. So yeah, it shouldn't be an issue. Mm, okay. What level
Hello,
of
Ashmit.
coding? Yeah, what?
Hello, Ashmit. I think I pronounced your name right. This is Yadnesh.
Okay.
Actually, you have cleared my most of the doubt, but just a small thing to ask. Like, what are the important factors that you gave priority or you think are important before choosing any project or before get started working on any project on GSoC?
Okay, so in my case, I looked for the organizations that were obviously previously participating and whether they are participating in future. So I was going through all the organizations and all the projects that they have, and then I landed on the Genome Foundation, where they had this one web dev project that wasn't complete like from 2 years. So I decided to contribute to that, and showing consistency in that organization will always highlight you, and a mentor would be more he will show you more confidence in selecting you. So I would say that if you start browsing through the organizations now and the project that they are working on, and start contributing to it, that should get you through GSoC. Does that solve your doubt?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. uh, okay, what level of coding knowledge do we require? We don't need expert level of coding knowledge, as I said. You need to just know how the stuff works. Uh, you, yeah, so just the beginner, because Google Summer of Code is for beginners. So, and they don't allow, uh, you know, seasoned professionals to participate in this program for that sole reason, because they want new contributors in this program. So they always look for new talent and new contributors to work on the projects. But yeah, having a little bit background always helps. What type of project has more edge in it? Okay, so there are like various projects on GSoC ranging from web, Android, cloud, etc. But most of the crowd which I have seen is in web dev, Android, because everyone knows basic web technologies and basic Android technologies, and everyone wants to jump in that domain. But cloud native projects are somewhat complex and not many people know about it. So if you have knowledge about cloud, or if you want to do a career in cloud, you can obviously approach those organizations and ask them that you are interested and how you can get started. They will obviously help you, and they will help you scale up as well. If even if you don't get selected in GSoC, and if you stay consistent with the organization. Uh, do orgs list out issues on GitHub too? Yeah, they all the issues are there on the GitHub only, or GitLab. So yeah, organizations have issues on GitLab or whatever. Okay, so are there any more questions? Apart from our domains, what basic knowledge needed to start working on open source? You don't need to have the basic knowledge you're asking about. Even if you know basic web development, suppose you can start contributing to Hacktoberfest. You can start contributing in Hacktoberfest, or the Girl Script Summer of Code, or Winter of Contribution. There are like many smaller programs than Google Summer of Code, which helps like new contributors through it. So yeah, you can obviously participate in that as well. So there isn't any qualification you need to start working in open source. As I said, non-code contributions always work. That is the documentation, helping out the community, and etc. So yeah, open source is not just about code, but it's everything like. So, yeah.
Thank you, Asmit. Now I will call our GDSC lead from MITAOE. Vatsal, please join.
I think there's this last question I would like to take. I have
Yes.
very little. Yeah, I have very little experience in different languages. Should I be working on content? Uh, you should like build projects in the languages that you know, so you will get the basic idea of it and how it works, and what's the logic behind the components or the stuff which has in your project. So yeah, if you aren't confident about participating in GSoC, I would say still make a proposal and participate in it. Even if you don't get selected, you can ask your mentor where did you get it wrong, or what can be improved upon. So in my case, GSoC wasn't my first open source program I participated in. It was LFX mentorship in first year, second semester. So in that also, it was a basic web dev project, but I didn't have that many skills. So when I applied, obviously I got rejected there. But when I asked my mentor, he said that my proposal was nice, as it was in the top 4 out of 110 applications that they received. But where I lacked was the less projects or less experience that I had with the tech stack I was working on. Now it was website related, so I had very less experience with even HTML and CSS. So that's why I didn't get selected in that. But I got the review, which helped me upskill myself and then get selected in Google Summer of Code. So yeah, that's it.
So yeah, that's an amazing session. So am I audible? Smith?
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, so like it was a very great event, or we can say a very great session by you. I guess some of you know Asmit. We have done the collaborative event at Jetpack Compose time.
Yeah, I guess they know me.
So yeah, sorry to interruption, guys. So yeah, I was asking like how many of you know Asmit? I guess we have done the collaborated event with the GDSC BVP and GDSC MITAOE at the Jetpack Compose time. So Asmit is my, yeah, Shreya, no. Yeah, so we are having some fellows, those who are from GDSC family. So we are currently working on something big which will be coming soon in Pune. So yeah, guys, if you like today's session, so kindly share or give feedback by tagging Asmit, me, or GDSC, MITOE, and BVP Pune. So we would like to see like how we can improve ourselves. So as we are also a student, so it might be happen our knowledge is not that much level, but we are always trying to giving you a best quality content. So for that, I would like to give gratitude to Asmit from MITOE family and GDSC MITOE. And yeah, guys, if you are having any doubt, you can still post in chat box. So how many of you heard about Google Solution Challenge? आज हम लोगों ने GSoC के बारे में जाना. गूगल सॉल्यूशन चैलेंज सुना है किसी ने? I guess if you are from other than MIT, so might be some fellows know. Yeah, Divya knows about that. And other than that, किसी ने सुना है गूगल सॉल्यूशन चैलेंज क्या होता है? लाइक नाम से ही पता चल रहा है कि कुछ तो भी बनाना है. So yeah, if you don't know, so we are working on that and we are soon planning to bring up some good event and good speaker for that. So I would recommend or I would say kindly follow GDSC, MITOE and BVP Pune. So on Instagram you will get to know, and also I guess my fellow Abhishek has shared our MITOE URL. So be active on our community, and also recently we have made a GDSC Pune account. So if you want a event which is happening in Pune, you can find there and you can join our WhatsApp group also. So this was about just informative session. I guess you might, yeah, yeah. We- Are you speaking anything? Who is this? Kindly keep your mic mute. I know सभी को भूख लगी होगी, खाना खाने जाना है. तो या सो अभी हम आज यहीं पे डे साइन ऑफ करते हैं. किसी के कोई भी डाउट हो एट एनी टाइम यू कैन कॉन्टेक्ट टू अस्मित. आई नो हिम पर्सनली. वी हैव वर्कड at CCD
Yeah,
event and then Dev Fest Pune. So yeah, we are in
yeah, you
touch.
can
You can
always, yeah, connect with me on the social media handles which I shared or through WhatsApp. So yeah.
Yeah, so guys, thank you for joining and thanks. Yeah, I get to know that some GDC's chapter also shared about this session in their community. So I would like to thank them to Pratmesh, Yash, and Shreya and those people. I don't know everyone, but thanks, those people have joined. And yeah, that GDSC is a very big family. So soon, GDSC is like announcing some good campaigns related to web, and there are lot many things are coming, so you can connect there. And yeah, Asmit has shared his LinkedIn. I also, you can search me on LinkedIn too. तो यू
And
कैन गिव द फीडबैक अबाउट दिस सेशन. लाइक हम लोग ऐसे, मेरी कोई आदत नहीं है ऐसे गूगल फॉर्म बनाने का फिर उसमें डालने का सेशन में कैसा लगा 1 to 5. ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. इफ यू रियली लाइक द सेशन, सो लिंक्डइन पे पोस्ट करो, उसके बारे में लिखो. एंड इफ यू डोंट लाइक, सो अभी उसका तो कुछ कर नहीं सकते. अभी आपको कोई अच्छा कंटेंट मिला तो यू कैन गो देयर. So yeah, guys, thank you for joining, and thanks to Asmit and his team and my team. Thanks to Pooja for hosting this session. Thanks to Abhishek, Neeraj, and my GDSC core team members and my members. So yeah, Ashmit has shared all his social handles,
yeah.
and I guess Abhishek has shared about MITAE also. So you can thanks, yeah, Divya, thanks to all. So yeah, bye Ashmit.
So
So
yeah,
I
thanks
think
for, yeah, thanks for having me and joining this session. And yeah, I hope you got basic idea about what GSoC is about. And yeah, thank you for MITOE team for inviting me for this session.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a privilege to have you. Yeah, thank you.